All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Golfballing podcast. I'm your host, Jackson. I'm here with only one beautiful co-host today.
I appreciate you using the word beautiful, but this is Sean. Nick could not make it today. I believe he's playing in a tournament right now.
Yeah,
He gave us no specifics on the tournament.
There was just like one text at like 1 p.m. Like, I'm in a golf tournament.
Yeah, he agreed to do the podcast yesterday. Like yesterday, he said that today was fine, and then just nothing. So
Yeah, well, uh, today we've got another great plethora of topics. The last podcast was probably our best one ever, statistically.
yeah, statistically, we should bring that back for our old listeners out there. We used to say statistically, or I did at least 5 times an episode. Um, yeah, but we appreciate the support on the last pod. You guys really seem to love it. And as always, if you have any opinions or even if you just want to debate some stuff with us, feel free to start a group chat with us in our DMs. A lot of people have started group chats with all of us, and it's a great time.
Yeah, so I actually forgot to put our socials in the last podcast, so they'll be in this one. Also, I'm gonna upload this clip to YouTube. I know I say that every time, but I'll link it in here. And then also, Sean, we got a review from our. I mean, yeah, Doug's not gonna like this comment. Ah, man, Patty Wolf's kind of taken over, like golf ball, not fanboy, but he's been standing us pretty hard for quite some time now
Well,
with
I mean, you got to show respect to both parties.
100%.
Doug's been our supporter since day one,
And
and
Doug still comments, shoots me over comments all the time. So I'm
and
just
yeah,
saying this is a very two probably my two favorite fans, to be honest with you.
I mean, I love Doug and I have a beautiful dynamic that just consists of him constantly making fun of me. And
But only him. He won't let anybody else. He gets pissed
yeah,
when other people do it.
yeah, he's always got my back, and I really do appreciate Doug for that. I do love just being chirped by Doug.
I'm excited to hear what he has to say after he listens to this one. But I'll read it and then we'll get into it. Great golf centric podcast, completely golf for the golf enthusiast. Hits on all topics you would debate with your boys on the 19th hole over a cold beer after a round you swear you could have been 3 shots better if you didn't hit that one shot OB or 3-putt 4 times. It's relatable. Funny, lighthearted, insightful, and self-deprecating. Big fan and recommend. Keep up the good work. Woo!
That is a pretty good summary of our pod.
Yeah,
So
he nailed it.
thank you to El Lobo 1977 for that one.
It's Pat Wolf.
Oh, that it just comes up as El Lobo on mine.
Yeah. No, yeah, yeah, I know. But guys,
Well, real quick fun fact for you. My undergrad school's mascot was a Lobo.
what?
It's
What
like
is a Lobo?
it's like some type of wolf.
Oh, really? That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I mean,
raw.
we were the Blue Streaks, but our mascot was a wolf, and he was nicknamed like the Lobo.
Uh,
So I still don't get that Latin translation.
oh, I see. A little bit of Latin. Um, well, Sean, you know what I did this week?
You played
Um,
golf.
I played golf.
I did too, actually.
Well, I play golf every weekend.
I well, I hadn't played in a while, but had to celebrate the end of I had final exams last week,
Oh yeah.
so I
Yeah.
played Saturday morning,
Yeah,
and
I saw your Snapchat.
yeah,
Hungover.
Friday night was a long night. Uh, I did made it out there, and the stomach was just churning on the course. It was bad.
It's pretty funny. I saw that. I saw your new best friend tag you in a golf ball in comment. And
Oh yeah, the program, my program here at school loves to interact with the golf balling page.
oh, you love to
They've
see it.
they've they've all got these constant opinions on it. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. Well, I only played 14 holes. I shot 39 on the front nine somehow,
Wow.
and I finished with a birdie. So
Wow.
I can't complain. But I
Yeah,
don't.
impressive.
Did I tell you I got hit or no?
No,
Oh
we
wow.
really we really haven't talked much the last few days. I've
Yeah.
been just completely disconnected from the world.
So I'm on hole like 5 or 4 or something like that. And for all you Chicagoans, I'm at Jackson Park. If you play Jackson Park,
No.
it wasn't bad. It was a Saturday. If I stayed, it probably would have been a 6 hour round, just guessing. Um,
Yeah.
but so we're on hole 4 or 5. I'm about to putt for birdie, and I got this. This is all so irrelevant, but I got this bee just chasing me like that whole green. The bees were all pissed off yesterday for some reason, or Saturday. But anyways, so I go to read my putt, and as I like go down, I get this like sharp pain in my foot. Like it just like it. I've got a left heel injury right now, so I'm like used to pain in my left foot, but it was this like sharp sudden pain. And I look down and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And my friend Matt, who I'm playing with, he's like, yo, that golf ball just hit you. And so I look over and there's a golf ball right next to me. And I see these guys teeing off. So as they come over, they just fucking like wave. Like, sorry.
Yikes. You
Like
gotta
a
you gotta
sorry.
you gotta at least get up there and give like an apology.
Like it hit me in
It's
the
is
fucking
this
foot.
was it a drivable par four?
Well, I was on a par five, and they were
Oh,
on.
it's from a
They were
different hole.
on. Yeah, no, we were on a different hole. They were on like the back nine part. They were on a par five on the back nine, and like the whole course, you're actually kind of just like, I don't know if anyone's gonna actually like know what I'm talking about, but like there's so many different places where you can get hit. And my friend Matt had to yell "FORE" like a few times because the tee boxes are so close to the holes. But yeah, this dude didn't yell "FORE." He barely apologized, and it makes me think like every time I've been hit by a golf ball, no one said anything beforehand, and no one's ever like gone out of their way afterwards. Whereas if I hit somebody with a golf ball, which I have not done, I would be like, "Holy cow! I am so sorry." Like, wow. Are you okay?
Yeah. I've never hit anybody personally, but I've been in groups where people have gotten hit. I've been in groups where somebody in my group has hit a different person, and it's always just awkward. Nobody ever knows how to react to it.
It
Like
really is.
you either get the people that are super over the top with the apology, or you just get no apology at all.
Yeah. My actually like on my last hole, once again, another just wacky hole. My friend's hitting a shot. Geez, my dad just said, "Can you call me ASAP?" Oof. Um,
Priorities.
oh, Amazon's at the corner of Devon and Magnolia. Oh, fuck. I gotta go get this.
Well, Jackson has just left mid podcast. Um, yeah, I honestly don't even know what to do here now. I've never actually been on a podcast solo. I don't know who would do that. It seems like kind of a psychotic move. But I'll just give you guys a little rundown of my round on Saturday. So I'm just playing with some classmates at like the student course at my school. Pretty easy track, like probably 3,300 yards, 9 hole course, par 35. And it's a Saturday morning. I'm pretty sure everyone in my group had gone out the night before, and like our group was the best 4 players in our program, and let's just say it was some sloppy golf, a lot of complaining about being hungover, and you would have probably guessed that we were for the first few holes at least, you would have guessed that we were at least 15 handicaps, when that was just far from the case. But I've never been a great hungover golfer. But I personally, I don't think I hit a good tee shot all day. A lot of one-handed finishes. A lot of explicit things mumbled to myself. But it was all around a good time. Yeah, you just left me hanging. I was given a rundown of my group on Saturday.
Wow. Was it boring or you think
No,
you did
it was electric.
God, I'm so out of breath.
Yeah, you really hustled there.
I mean, I get this call and my dad's like, Amazon guys can't find your place. I'm like, oh fuck. But I got him.
One thing I neglected to mention was I was stuck behind a group of people on Saturday. And I'm playing in a foursome. Group in front of me is a threesome. We waited every hole. Like, they're not waiting on anybody. And they're terrible golfers. They were searching for golf balls for at least like 10 minutes every hole.
You hate to see it.
I was just getting infuriated. I was
hate
like,
to see it.
Grab another top flight from your bag and just toss it down.
Something we'll go back to FORE in a second, but one thing that, because we talk about our friend Zach a lot. Whenever I play with him, I'm like, this dude takes like 6 fucking practice swings.
Dude, six is conservative too.
It's one and done if you're gonna do it.
I don't even take practice swings unless I'm like actually trying to score well. Like, if I'm just playing a casual round, I don't take a practice swing.
Yeah, I've started to hop on that train, but what makes me bring this up is my friend Matt, who I'm playing with. He took 3 practice swings, okay? But very fast. It's like swing, approach, swing, swing. So it's like,
that's fine.
It's like 15 total seconds, but it was 3. And I was always like, and if it was a harder shot, it would be a little longer. But it didn't bug me. I just thought it was so interesting. The 3, it was my first time playing with him. The 3, but they were like really fast. I was like, geez.
I would love to either find a study or do one myself on like whether or not practice swings actually help.
That would be an incredible study to do.
Because I think you would see like 2 practice swings would help, but anything more than that would be detrimental.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't think that a lot of bad golfers comprehend that.
Yeah, I do agree.
Oh, one of the dudes I was playing with on Saturday. So he's a former D1 golfer, and he was one of those guys, like, he would address the ball and then take his club to the top of his swing, and then just stop and like restart every swing.
Jesus.
And it, well, like we were still like, but every time he'd do that, I'd like start moving, because like, once people get to like the top of their swing, I like begin to go take that step to move. I like to be fast out there.
Yeah.
He kept getting me, like every time he'd get to the top of the swing, I'd just like stumble, and then I'm like, oh shit, he's not even starting yet.
That's weird. One of my friends who just started playing golf, apparently he starts his swing at the top.
Yeah, I've met some baseball players who do that. Doesn't make sense to me.
Now, this was his first time golfing, though.
Well, yeah, I've seen a lot of people do that, and I just don't comprehend that, because they just like start, but they don't have any of that like rotation that you get in your backswing.
Yeah, no,
and that's where you generate all the power, is from like shifting your weight and rotating your hips.
Yeah, you're just gonna be hitting 100 things.
Yeah, you're gonna hit like a little 150-yard tee shot with a 60-yard slice on the ball.
Yeah. There's gonna be
I feel like there's no way to come from the inside when you're in that position. You almost have to just go over the top.
But there's a reason he's only played golf once, and that's his swing. I would have to assume.
I mean, what do I know about the golf swing? I've just studied it for years.
But I guess you've got a nice little new segment. Let's wrap up the FORE talk. I just think it's unbelievable. Like the
Well,
two times I've been hit, it's just nothing.
I got to admit, I'm terrible about yelling FORE.
Well, you never know if it's actually like
I
gonna hit him or not.
Yeah, my like depth perception's not like good enough to where I'm just like that either is right on him or it's like 100 yards away. I have no idea. And so
Yeah.
I give late FORE calls if at all.
Yeah, but
But
that sucks.
I hit a lot of fairways, so I also don't really
Yeah,
have that
no,
issue.
yeah, it's probably not.
I'm a pretty above average driver of the golf ball.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I'd never really yell. I don't like usually yell for it because I don't think I've ever hit anybody.
I don't know why it's so awkward to like yell FORE and then it doesn't end up anywhere near someone.
It should become regular.
That needs to be normalized because
It really should.
The golfing community needs to yell FORE significantly more often as a whole.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun yelling FORE.
It really excites me. I mean, I love first of all after a bad tee shot just tossing out the point, like if it's heading left, just sticking up that arm, like essentially the no laying up logo. Something about that just energizes me. And then it's always fun just belting for like somebody you're playing. Like if I'm playing you in a match and you hit a shitty tee shot, I love yelling FORE.
Yeah.
For you, not for me.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of holding the club to the direction it's in and looking like I'm like picturing Rory McIlroy like shaking his head, club all the way to the right. And I'm also a big fan of like not like kind of acting when I like just milk a drive, like kind of like acting like that it wasn't my best work. I'm like,
oh, see, whenever I had a nice one, I just pimp step that shit.
Wow.
I do like, I don't know. You haven't played with me a ton recently, but I just have like a weird little strut after I send one out there.
Well, I've always back when I was a kid, and Rory's walking with that swagger, that pop in his step. I remember always wanting that pop in my step when I'm on the golf course.
Rory might have one of the swaggiest walks in golf. I mean, he just like sweats BDE out there on the course. And once again, Jackson has now muted himself.
Well,
oh, there we go.
You
really had to open
really
the package
big
now?
pocket. Yeah, dude, it was really big.
Okay.
Do you want to know what's in it?
Yeah, I would love to know what you just got delivered.
Garbage bags and looks like dishwashing pots.
Sick, man.
It's not what I was thinking, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Well, what's that new topic you got?
The new segment or the
New
topic?
segment.
Yeah.
Or what do you want? How do you want to go about it?
Well, I think we should introduce it. I want to do a recurring segment every podcast, just because we all play golf enough to where we have something to say every pod, and I want this segment to be called "Don't Be That Guy."
Yeah.
And essentially, we're just if we experience something on the course, we're gonna bring it up, like
yell FORE.
yeah, don't be that guy who doesn't yell FORE when your ball is tracking at another green. And actually, speaking of that, I know I told this story on one of our recent pods, but when like a couple weekends ago, the group in front of me, like they were on the next tee, we were on the green behind them. And one of the guys hit these rocks like 30 yards in front of the tee. It popped up and landed on our green. Like it easily could have hit any of us. And they didn't say anything, and they were just laughing. And they were like, oh, that probably wouldn't happen again. I'm like, yeah, you could say sorry, you fucking dick.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, so I think that's our first don't be that guy.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, but then as far as the next topic goes, I want to talk about ways to kind of deal with your anger on the course. And I'm not talking about like therapy, because
Jesus.
you know, you know that who does that actually work for? I'm talking about like little outbursts that just make you feel better out there. You know, like I'm a pretty fiery golfer. When I'm in competitive golf, it's gotten a lot better in the past couple years, just because
Yeah.
I don't care as much. But
Mhm.
um, in high school, it was bad.
I agree. I think, but also as far as that goes, I think like just in general, more like in competition, like just to start off with a quick example. And also, I want you to know that I'm about to go for our brief Sanderson recap. I'm about to go off. Okay. We
I have a
had
feeling.
we had a featured golfer win the tournament. All right. Anyways,
Yeah,
I'm
but
a
that wasn't really my argument. My
yeah,
argument
I
wasn't that he's
know.
the best golfer. It
I
was
know, but
that I just don't really want to watch him.
you don't want to watch the winner of the golf tournament? Okay.
Well, he doesn't necessarily need to be in a featured group.
All right. Anyways, what I was a big fan of in competitive golf after a blow up hole is I just love to just chuck that ball out of play.
Uh,
I'm a fan
yeah,
of the let's just get rid of the ball. See ya. Peace.
yeah, I do that very rarely. Um,
Yeah, no,
but
it's a rare occurrence.
I always feel like that's gonna make me feel a lot better, and then it never does.
When it's a shitty golf ball, it makes you feel
Yeah,
pretty.
see, but like I only really do it in tournaments or competitive golf. And then I'm just like, shit, I just lost a Pro V right there. Like what what was I doing? Like then I'm even probably more upset that I have to go get a new golf ball.
See, I just don't have that problem with all my pro fees in my basement.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, one thing I would not recommend doing if you're trying to deal with your anger is breaking clubs.
Hmm.
That's it doesn't make you feel better.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Actually,
I've never.
you know what? It makes you feel a little bit better for a minute, and then you think about the fact that you got to take it into the shop, get a new
Yep.
shaft. That's a
Yep.
whole process.
And the club's just gone for the rest of the round.
Yeah, and that's a struggle.
Yeah.
And kind of related to that is throwing clubs.
Yeah, throwing clubs is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's something about it just makes you feel great.
Like just
Uh,
whipping it where you know it's nothing's too bad's gonna happen.
yeah, the only I don't throw a ton of clubs.
Ah, yeah, no, I'm talking
Um,
counted on my hand.
I'm a big like one-handed finish guy with the driver. If it's shitty, occasionally I'll drop it if it's real bad. But the only time I'll throw a club is if I skull fuck a bunker shot. And given that my bunker play is atrocious right now, it's been happening quite a bit.
Hmm.
But there's one thing to keep in mind when you're throwing clubs, and that's proper technique. You
Grip
know,
side,
yeah.
whip it like a.
Well,
What's
it's
a good
you
comparison?
you always got a helicopter, never tomahawk.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's
You
good.
you know you always gotta sidearm it. You
What's
can't
that thing that comes back? A boomerang? It's kind of like
boomerang.
whipping a boomerang or a frisbee. It's kind of like a
Yeah,
frisbee throw.
like I can't remember what tournament it was when Rory tossed like his 3-iron in the in the
Into the
pond.
water. Yeah.
First of all, beautiful form on that club toss. I mean, the fact that he did that actually amazes me.
I think it was either the Honda or the Arnold Palmer
The
or
Honda feels vaguely correct.
I feel like it was the Honda. Um but yeah, I mean that's been posted on Golf Ball a few times throughout the
Yeah,
years.
I
That's
mean,
just a great little whip.
yeah, just all of these things keep coming back to is Rory the swaggiest guy in golf?
Dude, he's so cool, man. That pop in his step is just like when he's about to like win a major, he's just like walking with that swagger. Cause he's great. He's
Yeah,
got great body language. He's got
he
great.
really does.
He knows exactly how to stand correctly. He's always looking up. He's always looking forward. He's got a
His
smile on his face, or a little
his
smirk.
body language, his body language is so much better than like Jordan Spieth's.
Yeah.
Like I like Jordan Spieth, but his body language just makes him look so whiny on the
Yeah.
course.
He doesn't
Like
think
he's always got the slumped shoulders, just looks pissed,
Yeah.
and it's tough to watch almost.
It
Um,
is. It is.
yeah, but back on the topic of releasing anger, I'll say my new favorite is after I hit a less than desirable tee shot. You know, after I send one into the trees, I like just picking up my tee. I always play wooden tees, and I like just snapping it with two fingers.
What do you do if it's
It,
already broken?
and then I break another one.
Oh.
I don't. I also that doesn't happen a whole lot. Usually when I hit
Yeah.
a crappy tee shot, my tee doesn't break. But there's just something so nice about like breaking something and there being no repercussions to that.
Yeah.
I mean, the only downside is if you're running low on tees, then obviously don't do that.
Yeah, I can't. I could never do that. I can never just break tees willy nilly unless I'm playing with like you or somebody I know who's got just a couple of tees ready.
Well, then you're that guy. That's
I am that guy.
asking for tees all the time.
I am that guy.
It's infuriating.
I ask for tees every time I golf.
Oh, it's one of my pet peeves.
Wow.
I think we should do an updated pet peeves pod soon. And I'm just gonna create a list of like 150 different things.
Wow.
I could probably go on for days.
Like a Joe Rogan 4-hour podcast.
Yeah, yeah. But another one of my go-tos back in high school. I don't ever really do this anymore. Was especially after a missed putt, I always used to like slap my thigh as hard as I could.
Bad boy. Bad boy.
Yeah, it was kind of the back of the thigh too, so it probably almost looked like I was slapping my ass. Which, you know, I guess I'd never really thought about that from an outside perspective, and my father used to reprimand me for that quite often. And then I never saw an issue with it. I was just like, oh, this is a normal thing to do. And then I was out watching a junior golf tournament once, and I saw kids doing that, and I was just like, oh, like you look like a little bitch. So I've since stopped doing that.
How about the classic just as you're walking back to the bag, like a full swing with the putter in the grass?
Yeah, my brother does that a lot.
Really, I do that a lot too.
It's never really been my thing. Sometimes it's nice kind of like tossing the ball up and hitting it with your putter,
Oh, that is a great thing.
but you need to be athletic to do that. If you miss, super embarrassing.
Well, I kind of like the miss because I usually am aiming like in the water, and then if you make contact with it, you're like, wow, let's go. That you don't even care that it's in the water, and if you miss it, it's like, probably
Yeah,
better.
but I pride myself on my hand eye, so if I miss it, then I'm just more frustrated with myself for being a disappointment.
I see.
Yeah, I used to also be a big fan of if I like three putted, I'd slap my hand like with my putter face,
Oh yeah.
and then I accidentally injured myself in the tournament once
Yeah.
where I think I like popped a like vein in my thumb,
Oh god.
and it was the worst pain I'd experienced on the golf course. I couldn't move my thumb the rest of the round, and it was my right thumb, and I'm a lefty, so like that's the more important hand.
Yeah.
So I was trying to play just like where I was gripping the club, and essentially my thumb was just immobile, like hanging off of it. So
What'd you
that
shoot?
happened on like I shot 80, and that happened on like the third hole. It was a qualifier for a different tournament. I needed the 78 to qualify.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, you know what? I easily should have shot 78 today. Like now I just felt like even more of a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing that as well. So pretty much my only things that I do now are like the little club toss out of the bunker with the frustrated raking after that. I mumble a lot of expletives to myself that I will not say on this podcast because they are just not even appropriate for our podcast. I mean, if I was mic'd up during a round, I'd be canceled. And then breaking tees. I just kind of live to break tees.
Wow. I'm more of a like, if I'm gonna mumble something, I'm like, oh wow, you're a genius. Like when I three putt for the 8th time in a row, I'm like, oh wow, you're so fucking smart, aren't you? Or oh, isn't that perfect? When you like chunk it into the water on a par 3, like, oh great. How ideal is that?
So yeah,
Then you'll get a couple chuckles and
big fan of the sarcastic comments to yourself.
yeah. And I like the chuckles that it gets.
I like doing those things more to other people. Like if you were to chunk it in the water, I'd be like, "Oh, good one."
A shot.
Really got all that one.
And then always a big fan. Well, first off, I'm just a big fan of that'll play in general, but I'm a big fan of when it can't play. I'm a big fan of saying, oh, that'll probably play. Like you saw the splash. That'll play. It's all good.
I'll find it.
I'll find it.
Yeah,
it's on a freeway.
My college team. This was started by my brother. It got really annoying actually after a while. Is like instead of saying that'll play, everyone would say they'd quote Shrek and say that'll do, donkey. And God, that used to get fucking infuriating.
I can see your brother saying that when I just don't want to hear that. Like at a point in a round where like he says that to me, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, he actually I actually talked to him for a few hours on Friday because he was driving to see his girlfriend and he was stuck in traffic.
Yeah, I saw that he has a girlfriend though.
Yes, he does. But our listeners don't really care about that. But he was letting me know that he wants to be on the pod soon.
Oh, nice.
I can't remember if I told him that there's a story that you really want him to tell.
Oh yeah.
We need him for one specific story and then we'll kick his ass off.
Yeah, we'll have to get him on like in the next couple of episodes for sure.
Yeah. I would have loved to actually hear Nick's opinions on how to deal with anger on the golf course.
We'll have to ask him next episode.
He's a tough person to describe. He doesn't really get angry on the course. He gets depressed.
Yeah.
Which I had that issue for a while, but
Jesus.
one of my coaches once. No, I'm not talking. I didn't have like an actual depression.
No, I know.
I used to just get down on myself, and one of my coaches told me like, "Oh, you can play mad, you can't play sad," and that's true because then your confidence goes to shit, and then everything's going downhill from there.
When Nick gets sad, Nick was getting. Someone asked, "Did you see that DM of someone asking for part 3 of the YouTube video?"
I did, yeah.
Nick gets pretty sad at the end of that. Like I just vividly remember like hole 17, and he's just, oh man, that water, and then we had to go look for it, and just was a sad man at the end of that round.
Yeah, that YouTube video is going to be kind of a tough look for Nick. Definitely not representative of his usual play.
Yeah, but I mean, his score.
I'll give him credit. Yeah. It wasn't great.
But like,
I mean, I'll give him credit. He's a better golfer and a more normal guy than he appears to be on that lap that's coming out. So, Nick, if you're listening to this, which let's be realistic, he's not. I give credit where credit's due.
I think every time we're like, Nick's not gonna listen to this, I swear to God, I think it's someone else who listens to it and they're like, oh, did you hear them hear them talk some shit to you at minute blank? So I'm gonna just say right now, Nick, who? I got nothing for you, Nick. Sorry.
Yeah, that was taking quite a while to formulate that thought.
Yeah, I got nothing for you, Nick. Sorry.
Just absolutely blank.
Yeah.
not a great look for you. So,
Wow. I
wow,
mean,
really?
because the whole point of the comments are they're always like inside jokes that just no one will get.
Yeah.
And then it's not like if Nick were to even say the inside joke, maybe we would talk about it. I think it was just funny that like one time we made a podcast and Nick and Nick and me both gave code words to our girlfriends. Like if you make it, and it was like pretty late. Or like if you're listening to this, say blah 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 or blah blah blah. And they both did, and it
Yeah.
was so weird. It was like, all right, yeah, like the
And it
first
was
time,
wasn't it
both of
within like
you.
wasn't it within like 5 minutes of each
I
other?
think it was, yeah, yeah. We were together, and it was like, what the fuck are you? um, but Sean, should we talk about some Sanderson Farms?
I mean, sure.
Is that the cookie brand?
Huh?
Is that the cookie brand, or is that like Pepperidge? That's
That's
Pepperidge.
Pepperidge Farms. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't actually know what Sanderson Farms is, but I gotta be honest, I did not watch this tournament at all.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Nobody in this field intrigued me. Or
Well,
well, there were a few players, but Will Zalatoris missed the cut,
yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
pretty
You know he
depressing.
was, he was probably really tired.
And you know what? He was due.
Yeah, he was due. I think Sergio winning it was very cool. I think that Keegan Bradley shooting 66-65 and finishing tied for fourth was very cool. I also think that Stuart Sinks
Well,
65 on Sunday was very cool. I think that
I
Corey Connors top
wait,
25
wait,
was
wait,
cool.
wait,
Zach
wait.
Johnson's top 25 was cool, and Sebastian Munez's top 25 was
I
also
want to
cool.
talk about the Stuart Sink.
Okay.
I I don't think I remembered to send you this article, but he had his son on the bag, who we actually need to reach out to because
It
he
was
wants to
this
come on
week.
the
He had
pod.
him on this week on the
Yeah,
back. Oh, that's cool.
he'd had him on since they won, and
Oh, really?
yeah, and his son, or he told his son like, unless I finish in the top five, like this is your last week caddying for me. Because he's like, you've got a life at home, dude. Like, I wouldn't wish the caddy life on anyone. Like,
Yeah.
his son has a good job. I don't remember what company, but I just thought that was funny because I've been trying to convince you that we should have him on the pod for a while now.
You need to get him on the pod. It's just tough
Yeah,
to get.
especially after he has a featured article on him on PGAtour.com.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess the so I mean, if he came tied for 12th, is he still good or
No, he's Stewart's going back to his usual caddy, Kip Henley.
oh, really?
And Kip Henley actually has a very strong Twitter presence. He's a pretty funny guy.
Oh, really?
Um, but it seemed like a pretty mutual decision. It was funny though. It said like Stewart almost said like top 10 and he'll stay on the bag,
Hmm.
and then he finished one stroke outside of that. So that would have been crazy.
Yeah, no, we'll have to get him on now that he's not a caddy for his dad. I'm sure he's got some extra time on his hands.
Yeah, I mean, but props to him. His dad played great while he was on the bag. So
Yeah.
super impressive, especially at this point in Big Stu's career.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Sergio Garcia, first win in over a year. He missed the FedEx. First time since 2011. He fell out of the top 50.
There are a few notable things we need to talk about Sergio.
What
First
are
of
there?
all,
Really?
he was putting with his eyes closed.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Did you not see that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is psychotic. But
Is it?
apparently, it was working for him.
Is it genius or psychotic?
I mean, he only ranked 28th in putting,
Mm.
whereas he was first in strokes gained tee to green.
So it probably wasn't needed.
I mean, I don't think he's a great putter in general,
Yeah, no.
but his putting on Sunday was actually very solid. But then he was getting flamed online for his outfit on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah,
obviously
I didn't
saw
even I didn't even post it. I didn't even post him on I did when I tweeted about his win. I didn't even include a picture. Probably should have because it's funny.
Yeah, it was a bad look.
I don't think he's ever been great with looks. I just
Well,
can't.
He's a Nike guy right now, right?
No. Is he? No, he's not.
I feel like he wears Nike shirts, but I
Oh,
that
well then
doesn't sound right.
he wears like Paul
Actually,
Casey type shirts then.
he might be Adidas.
Yeah, he's
I'm
definitely
pull,
Adidas. He's got
I,
to be Adidas. Unless they signed him
oh yeah,
within.
that was an Adidas shirt.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that I mean, it's for those who haven't seen it. It's like this navy blue shirt with these vertical white stripes and like
Can't go vertical stripes.
little Adidas logos like scattered everywhere. It is hideous.
It's tough. It's very tough to find good shirts with vertical stripes. And
And
no
he's
one
wearing
talks about it.
well, he's also wearing a navy shirt like with a black leather belt.
Hmm.
Um, or maybe it's just in some lighting it looks black. Either way, it doesn't match the outfit well.
Yeah.
So just an all around tough look for him. But you know, I've seen that photo all over of him holding that nice little chicken trophy,
Yeah. The
the
chicken
cock, if you will.
championship. The cock. Holding
Yeah,
that cock up.
how fitting for Sergio to get a trophy that's shaped like a cock. He is
uh,
one.
well, next week we got the Shriners Hospital for Children open, and I'd make fun of the tournament, but it's not my place. But to put it bluntly, I'd say we're gonna get probably the exact same tournament that we did this week, which is a step up from the Punta Cana Championship, I
I mean,
guess.
not by much. Like
Maybe a step up from the Safeway. It's got to be a step up from the Safeway, like barely. Like Safeway, Sanderson's, then maybe Shriners is like barely above it.
yeah, I mean, we're just in general, we're kind of at a lull in the schedule.
Yeah.
Um,
Was this the tournament where I was like, was this the tournament that got canceled right before?
but wait, whoa. I actually don't know what you're talking about. The field for the Shriners isn't bad.
Well, no, the
I
purse is.
mean,
That's why I'm putting it right above Sanderson and Safeway because the purse is pretty high.
yeah,
It's just a smidgen above it.
it's one of the better fields we've had since
Yeah,
the U.S. Open. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's
you've
tough.
got Patrick. Whoa. You've
Easy
got
to.
Patrick Cantley, Can Champ, Jason Day, Bryson, Tony Finau, Ricky
The
Fowler,
first two names just did absolutely nothing to me.
Patrick Cantley, who's like a top 10 talent in the
No,
world.
I do like watching Patrick Cantley is not going to make me watch this tournament.
You got
Champ.
You got Lanto Griffin.
Yeah, I picked Lanto a lot.
I don't
I
know
picked
why you picked
Lanto for
Lanto.
PGA.
He hits the ball like 250 yards.
I think I picked Lanto for the PGA in
He's like
Jock.
one of the shortest players on tour.
Well, so is Brendan Todd.
Yeah, but Brendan Todd also hits it so straight.
Well,
Special shout out Charles Howell III in the field.
I think that this week is gonna be just barely next week's really cool because it's at Shadow Creek, or the week after that and the purse is pretty fat. JT's defending it. I'm assuming the field is gonna be a step up from the Shriners. And then you got the Zozo, so that's gonna be cool.
Oh yeah, the CJ Cup's at Shadow Creek this year. That I didn't even realize that. That's strange.
Yeah, well
Uh,
they're going Korea, Japan, China, and then Bermuda, and then we got Houston, and then the
wait, are you trying to
Masters.
say that Shadow Creek's in Korea?
Yeah.
Shadow Creek is in Las Vegas.
Why does it have
The CJ Cup's
Jeju-do, Korea?
no,
Shadow
my
Creek is where the fucking match was
yeah, it's
in
in
Las
Vegas
Vegas. I know, but why does it say Korea?
because I think it used to be in Korea. They changed it this
Oh.
year, and then the Zozos in California.
Well, then what's going on? Oh, dude, guess the HSBC got canceled in China. So they just threw overseas out. That
Well,
makes sense.
I mean, and yeah, you don't really want to encourage too much international travel right now.
Well, when did they decide that?
Probably when they built the schedule. I don't know. That's really
When
actually
was that?
that's
April?
that's really flown under the radar. I
What?
haven't heard that talked about much. That these tournaments are stateside.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, the CJ Cup is going to be a good field. It's going to be a better field than this week. We don't even know it yet. But and then the Zozo Tiger Woods is playing. So, right? Yeah. You
Yeah.
said that a few months ago or a few weeks ago.
Hmm.
So, oh man, they got rid of the World Golf Championship HSBC champions, which Rory McIlroy would be defending. And they, but see, okay, I still don't understand this. Why is the Bermuda Championship still going on? Is that fine? Like Punta Cana
I
was
don't
fine
know.
too.
Just I'm guessing that Bermuda's not bad as far as COVID goes.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I think after the Zozo, it's going to be boring then because I'm not a huge fan of Houston Open. Maybe Lanto Griffin goes back to back though. I don't know. I highly doubt it, but
I
he
would I
could.
would love for Lanto Griffin to go back to back.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But I got my point across that, and we'll talk about it. I want Nick to be here for the featured golfers, but I'm gonna bring up this week's as two featured top four, and one won it. So when do we know the featured groups? Tomorrow? What day is it? Yeah, tomorrow.
You'll probably figure it out Wednesday.
Oh,
I don't. Yeah, tomorrow at the earliest.
yeah. Okay.
But yeah, we can have another little heated debate about that because that got fiery last time.
Yeah. Yeah, it
It's
did.
always weird. The things I think that are going to be like causes of controversy for our podcast are really not. And then I think like I'm bringing up a take that we'll all agree with, and it just gets crazy. It's just an absolute bloodbath. And we've really actually gotten to the point where we just do not pull punches anymore. I mean, I'd say when we first started recording these pods, like we were a little too sensitive to each other's feelings. Um, Especially like we didn't really offend Nick very much, which was bad because his takes at the time sucked. And then it just became like, oh, let's just shit on Nick constantly. And
And then
then
Nick gets his own little following.
recently it's recently been a lot of Nick and I against you.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Yeah.
You should almost be concerned. You
Well,
might be the new Nick.
well, should I be concerned because everyone who always when Nick was because Nick went through that phase in like August when we were getting like these crazy numbers. Maybe the numbers were getting in Nick's head, and he was just pulling some of these takes out of left field. And so when we would be like, if you guys want to leave us a comment or something like that, shoot us a DM, and the DM that people would be are like Nick's takes are, as bad as as irrelevant as Scott Brown's career, but
Yeah,
people
people.
like his crazy takes.
I
So
don't think they like him. I think they just find him amusing because I mean it inspires a nice back and forth between us.
yeah, and I mean I don't even know if my takes have been. Maybe you guys can let me know if my takes have been crazy recently, but I feel like I'm as woke as I've ever been. So
I don't know if I'd consider you woke.
yeah,
I think in general Nick and I take the very woke stances,
yeah.
whereas you take the very like probably the more traditional stances.
All right, boomer. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, you're the boomer.
Yeah, I'm not a boomer. You guys are the tryhards in this. In
Well, yeah,
this.
I've never really taken offense to that term.
Yeah, all
Uh,
right, boomer.
I if this weren't a golf podcast, I would love to have a long discussion about the term try hard. Just because I don't really see that as an insult.
All right, try hard.
Trying hard at something should be like desirable.
Yeah, what if it's like, what if it's spectating a golf tournament and you show up in golf shoes in like a tiger outfit and it's non-ironical and you bring your own club to get some practice swings
That's
in.
that's not being a tryhard. That's being a fucking weirdo.
I see. All right. Well, I think that wraps us up.
Wow, pretty. Yeah, I guess I was gonna say pretty brief pod, but considering it's a two-person, it wasn't that brief.
It's been 50
Um,
minutes. So,
we can we'd like to formally apologize for Jackson's absence. The first 10 seconds were tough for me. I didn't know where to go. I was just like, what do I talk about? I wish we had an ad read that I could have done there, but if you haven't noticed, our podcast hasn't been sponsored in quite a while, which is weird because, we're peaking.
We're a top 10 podcast in the golf world, but we're doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah, but hey, fuck us, am I right?
Is that a reference, or do you really want me to fuck you?
Whichever you want.
All right.
You can take that however you want it to
be. Even without Nick, we're just so off topic in the last 2 minutes.
Oh, I know. It's a good time.
Yeah, really. I wish like there were comments on a podcast and you could just know like on an episode to episode basis, like just like comments about the podcast.
Yeah, like if it would be better if like YouTube was a more prominent place for podcasts and everyone was just commenting.
Yeah.
Or it'd be fun if we did like a podcast as a live stream.
Oh, we should
do that one day.
Yeah, we should do that. Yeah. But then what if no one shows up?
Yeah, that'd be tough. I mean, we could also post it as a regular podcast as well.
No, that's like no way up, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I don't know how
we might have to consider that over
Augusta?
Over what?
Oh, over break.
Over winter break, yeah. But sure, man, over Augusta.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just end it here.
Yeah, make sure to leave a rating and a review like our boy Patrick Wolf, aka El Lobo 1977. Mm-hmm. And cheers.
I hope he didn't mind that we said that. But yeah. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, cheers.